Hi everyone, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for Monday the 19th of October going through until Sunday the 25th of October 2020. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I've had a look at what's going on this week, and there's one theme that keeps popping up again and again, and that is that you're going to have moments of great emotional insight. So things that have been unclear or problematic in the past, the penny's going to drop and you have a eureka moment. And not only that, it's about having the practical ability to apply those insights in a way that's going to affect positive change in your life. So let's have a look at what is happening each day of the week, starting with Monday the 19th. We've got the moon moving into Sagittarius at 4:44 in the morning. If you've been following me for more than a week, you'll know that I'm really fond of the number 444. To me, it means taking divinely guided action. So it's about listening to what your higher self says, the messages you get from the universe, and actually implementing those. So that's interesting as well in terms of the theme that we've got, listening, getting real insights and trying to get real guidance and then doing something with it. The moon is the most sensitive part of who you are, and Sagittarius is the centaur. He's about galloping into the higher realms, off into the universe, in an attempt to expand his horizons. So Monday, you're naturally going to feel a sense of desire, especially when it comes to travel, although that's going to be limited at the moment. Expanding your horizons through education, connecting to the higher realms, all of those things. We've got the warrior planet Mars in the sign that it rules Aries, so Mars is really happy. But it's in retrograde, so you may feel less motivated than you usually do, and it squares Jupiter in Capricorn. So rather than saying, what do I want? Ask yourself, how can I apply myself and affect positive change and work towards something? You'll get good luck from that. Venus, the planet of love and beauty, is in Virgo, and Venus in Virgo isn't the most romantic. It's more concerned with making sense of things, analyzing the information that's in front of you in order to make good decisions. It trines the lucky planet Jupiter again, and it quincunxes Mars in Aries in retrograde. Okay, so taking the insights that you've got and being practical about those is going to serve you very well. Finally, we've got a lot going on here on Monday. We've got Mercury, the communication planet, in Scorpio. So when it comes to thinking and communication, the emotions are going to play a big role in that, and it opposes the planet of rebellion and eccentricity, which is Uranus, and that's in Taurus, the sign of the bull, which has to do with earth and money and practical things. So again, listening to your feelings is super important, and any amazing, wonderful thing can happen as a result. So on Monday the 19th, you're going to experience good luck and good fortune when pursuing love or work that you really love. Consistency, optimism, and hard work are going to be attractive to other people. Blowing yourself up, being arrogant and inauthentic is not going to work, and that's going to be a turn-off to a lot of people. Venus is in Virgo, remember, so everyone has this second sense if someone's being genuine or isn't. If there are situations which are intense or even uncomfortable or unpleasant, it's better to face them and to work through the feelings rather than fleeing. Fleeing isn't going to work for you, and working through stuff, especially with other people or even yourself, is going to have surprising results. So you may learn something about yourself. So maybe you notice that you react in a certain way that you don't particularly like. And by facing it and working through it, you actually learn about yourself. Tuesday, the 20th of October, we've got the moon still in Sagittarius, so the desire to make things bigger and to have fun and to explore, that's still with you, and it forms a positive trine with Mars, the soldier, in Aries. So if anything, the desire to explore the new and to have new experiences is going to heighten on Tuesday. The moon then sextiles the sun in Libra, and the sun is what you're striving towards, and it's what really gives you a sense of fulfillment and identity and well-being. Libra is rational, it's concerned with other people, you're standing in the group and making fair decisions. So the moon in Sag saying go gallop by yourself and be free, frolic in the fields. Sextiling the sun in Libra means that you can't just go off by yourself. You have this built-in responsibility and you're considerate of other people and their feelings. The moon then squares Venus in Virgo again, so more reasonable energy, more facts and making sure everything's correct. And Neptune in Pisces, the water planet, in the sign that it rules. So it's not only being able to be decisive and to look at information in the real world, it's also being able to connect with your higher self and listening to those messages very clearly, and then being able to decipher those and letting that guidance influence you to the point where you take divinely guided action, which is going to improve your life. So Tuesday, the 20th, is a wonderful time to explore spiritually or physically if you can. Solo travel is going to be enjoyable and enriching, even if that's something you fear. And again, it can be spiritual or physical. So meditating by yourself without the guided meditation, if you've used that as a way to scaffold your meditation practice, or if you want to go somewhere by yourself and you really struggle with that, you will learn loads about yourself by doing that kind of stuff. And it's really important that you face those feelings. So if you do dread that kind of thing, I remember when I was much younger, going to a restaurant and having a meal by myself was really frightening for some reason. And these days it's the norm. So by facing something like that, you'll understand what about a certain activity is scary to you, and you'll be able to overcome it, or at least understand it, and then take practical action to resolve that issue. There's also the great potential for understanding the self. So not just fears and limitations, but also really connecting with your higher self and seeing the bigger picture about you and understanding yourself as a person even more clearly. And that's invaluable. If we understand ourselves and why we do certain things and why we behave in ways that we're not comfortable with, we can actually do something about them. If we don't, then we're just at the mercy of our own kind of moods and impulses. If you're unclear about the next step forward in your life, you're able to delve within for answers. If you're really, really busy in life, and if you meditate once a week or once every 2 weeks and you try, but that's the most you can squeeze in, if you're going to have to pick a day all week to meditate, make it Tuesday, because you're going to get the most out of it. So the big theme of these amazing emotional insights that you have this week, Monday is great because we have the 444, so it starts immediately, but Tuesday gets even stronger and enables you to get real understanding of yourself. Wednesday, the 21st of October, we've got the moon changing gears now, and it goes into Capricorn at 6:45 in the morning. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is about expansion and growth. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is about structure and security and solidity and consistency and real power in saying, this is me, this is my identity, and there's no shaking it. With the moon going into Capricorn, you now become much more focused on the here and now rather than what could be. So it becomes much more serious on Wednesday. The Capricorn moon then trines Uranus in Taurus. So that's great because by being serious and by applying yourself, the unexpected and the miraculous can happen, and that's in a physical way, so anything can happen. It sextiles the communication planet Mercury in Scorpio, so the feelings are involved, and it squares the asteroid Chiron in Aries. Chiron is the wounded healer, and in the chart it's often the part of the chart where the ego tries to sabotage you, and it's where you're really able to flip things by 180. So something that was terribly hurtful, can be healed and it can become a real strength. The image I always use with Chiron is if you have a cut in your skin, once that cut actually heals, you have a scar there, and that scar tissue is much stronger than the skin around it. So Chiron can be the energy that really causes you problems, and once it's overcome, can be a real strength of yours. So with the Capricorn moon and Chiron in Aries, don't take off by yourself and completely do things that only serve you. Remember the kind of Libra energy of being considerate of other people as well, because doing something only for you, or even things that take away from other people, are going to hurt. They're not going to help you, they're going to make things more difficult. Finally, Venus in Virgo trines Pluto, the planet of transformation and change, and that's in Capricorn. Venus is in Virgo, so both are in earth signs. So we're getting really down to the nitty-gritty on Wednesday, and we're being super, super practical now. You start to build a thick skin on Wednesday, and you're able to deal with things that you've been putting off for a while. Work is going to surprise you with an opportunity or a financial windfall. So Wednesday is a really good day to demonstrate your expertise at work, or if you've got a meeting with the manager and you're asking for more responsibility or more pay, it's really likely to go in your favor. Be careful that you don't take on too much. So the benefit and the support of the day is that you're really able to apply yourself, and you're able to check in with yourself and work in an authentic way that helps you. If you find yourself becoming overwhelmed or taking actions that are all about you, or you're unprepared and you're just kind of winging it, step back and wait. It's much better to hold off a little bit than to rush into something you have no clue about on Wednesday. And if you become rattled or emotional, things could really unravel very quickly because of misunderstandings. So it's not guesswork. It's not trying to get other people to understand or articulating your way in a way that's clear. It's really checking in with yourself and seeing what you care about and what's important to you, and then taking steps to improve your circumstances. That's really the big blessing of Wednesday the 21st. Moving on to Thursday, the 22nd of October. 22nd, okay, 22 is the master number of the builder. October is 10, so that reduces to 1 in numerology. 1 is the magician taking action. And 2020 is 4. It's just kind of popping out at me, this date, so I just need to... 4 is security and structure. It's the Emperor in the Tarot. So 22, 1 and 4 is if you take action, you're really going to be able to create something important and meaningful that's going to serve you in future. In terms of the astrology on Thursday, we've got the sun going into Scorpio at 11:01 p.m. Wow, so we've got loads of symbols here via the numbers this week. 11:01, so 111. That's the magician. That's about being in charge. That's you doing something. So the responsibility shifts a little bit on Thursday towards you. So it's important that you look at yourself and say, how can I benefit myself and build something really meaningful? Whereas Monday through Wednesday was about how can I apply myself to bring good things into my life? How do I listen and then follow that up with legwork to make good things happen? So the sun in Scorpio takes a dive into the water, the watery depths of a swimming pool. Libra is an air sign, and the sun's been in Libra, and that is about being considerate and balanced. Scorpio is a wonderful sign. It kind of gets a bad rap. If you look at social media and stuff, Scorpios, yeah, I love Scorpio because it's an emotive sign. It's not afraid to face difficult stuff or wonderful stuff. It's not afraid to feel, basically. And with the sun in Scorpio, you really take yourself even more seriously, but not in a way of, oh, I'm so important, look at me. It's more about, I owe it to myself to listen to my own feelings, to listen to what my body and my mind and my soul is telling me, and to listen to that, because it's coming from somewhere. So if your body says, do you know what, enough with this diet, do something about it. Don't be afraid to listen to it, even if it makes you feel like, oh, how am I going to do this? This is uncomfortable. Because the sun in Scorpio is really going to reveal hidden things within you that are important and that should be addressed. On top of that, we've got the communication planet Mercury, that's in Scorpio as well. So not only is your identity all about what's inside you and what you're feeling, you feel very comfortable navigating those depths and really taking hidden secrets that are inside you and may even be hidden from yourself, and to pull them out and to bring them to the surface and to bring them to the light and say, okay, this wants to be dealt with. My soul, my identity, my higher self is telling me there's something here that needs to be looked at, and by looking at it you can transform it and heal it. Mercury quincunxes Chiron in Aries, so don't just do this by yourself. Check in with your higher self through whatever spiritual practice you've got. Maybe you connect with yourself through meditation or prayer or yoga or spinning classes or soul cycle or boxing or exercising or therapy, whatever gets you to that place of, okay, I can hear what my higher self wants and it's calm and quiet, and I can hear my inner guidance. That's really important. The Capricorn moon conjuncts Pluto, transformation and change, Jupiter, good luck, and Saturn, structure, all in Capricorn, the sign of the worker, and it squares Mars in Aries. So a conjunction is when the moon, or a conjunction is when any planet sits right on top of another, and it's harmonious and positive. And because the moon in the earth sign Capricorn sits on top of these three outer planets also in Capricorn, you're really hitting the ground running, and anything that you do is very likely to have a significant impact on your circumstances. So on Thursday, you'll notice that your feelings demand some attention. And that's because they're coming up through all this Scorpio energy. But also, it's not just to torture you. You have the power to heal negative circumstances through action, not talk. And that's coming from me. So listen to yourself and then take the action you feel guided to take. It's really going to have a positive outcome for you. Remember that you're the authority figure in your life and that you are the expert on you. No one knows you as well as you do. You know your own feelings better than anybody. If you have problems deciding what it is you want to do with yourself and your life, and you have problems making decisions for yourself in general, you'll find that you have this amazing inner navigation system that tells you exactly where to go and how to get there. So it's not that you don't have this navigation system available to you at other times, but you take yourself seriously. If you feel it and think it, this week you have this sense of, I am the expert in my life. And if I don't do it for myself, no one else will. And that's what Thursday is all about. If you listen to yourself, if you take your own needs and desires seriously, you can really transform your life for the better and make meaningful and long-lasting change. On Friday, the 23rd of October, the moon moves into Aquarius at 12:18 in the afternoon. The moon in Aquarius is now back in the element of air, and Aquarius is about the greater good. It's about being a humanitarian, teaching, being selfless, and articulating messages that are going to help everybody. So now you can see that the focus is away from me only, and it's me in connection to other people and how I can serve those other people. The moon then squares the sun and Mercury in Scorpio. So the connection is there with your feelings, and you're able to communicate your feelings very well. And intuitively, I'm being told that you're really able to be a therapist as such to other people on Friday, because you just have a natural understanding of your own feelings and other people's. So you can really empathize what other people are going through. And if you've been there yourself, you can share your experience and connect with another person which is going to help you and the other person. The moon also connects with Uranus and Taurus. Practical action has a really huge impact this week, and anything that is based on your authentic feelings is going to have a surprisingly positive result for you. So make sure that you do have moments this week where you can really check in with yourself and say, is this something I really care about and feel? And if the answer is yes, then go ahead with it. It's going to serve you very well. The moon in Aquarius finally also sextiles Chiron in Aries on Friday the 23rd. And that's a conflict because the question is, do I go back to pleasing myself or do I continue working with other people? So the answer for anyone who wants to help or teach others in some capacity is to find a specific way of doing this. So give yourself an outlet for your feelings. If it's through communication, great. Communicate online or speak to someone or teach other people. Unexpected news may elicit a strong emotional response. So that's the other way around. So listening to other people and connecting with them in a receptive mode means that you don't have control of what's being said. And if you hear something that doesn't work for you, expect to feel that. So if someone insults you or if someone says you can't do this because ABC, that you're not going to just say, okay, thank you for the rules, I will follow them blindly. You're going to be thinking about yourself and what works for you. So if you have problems standing up for yourself, and if you get bullied or if people just think, you know, they'll do whatever I want because that's the way it's always been, you'll be able to stand up for yourself on Friday. Acting alone and from fear is going to make more of a mess in the long term. Reaching out for help if things get tough is the way forward, and talking things through. Share your feelings and issues with close friends, spiritual advisors, sponsors, or anyone else you trust for solutions to your problems. So the interesting thing about Friday is try and create content and have something to say and to teach other people, rather than being the receptive one and saying, teach me, tell me, educate me. Because you're not interested in that 100%. You have your own agenda, and it's really important that you find a way to weave that agenda into your real life. You're not meant to just sit back and be taught on Friday. On Saturday, the 24th, we still have Venus in Virgo, and that trines Saturn in Capricorn. Venus in Virgo is critical. Like I said earlier, it's not the most loving placement because Venus in Virgo can also be like the nurse. It's like, is this good? Is this right? Is it healing? Is it something that suits me? Does it make sense on an objective level? So it's not just about your feelings, it's about what society thinks and what other people is right. With that trining Saturn in Capricorn, don't sell yourself down the river by saying this is the responsible thing to do, even though I hate it. Because Saturn likes structure and security. Venus in Virgo says, love things that are reasonable and that are practical and that make sense. And, you know, as human beings, we don't always love things that make sense. There's no rhyme or reason to it, and sometimes we just fall in love with things that, yeah, don't even serve us. That doesn't mean, though, that you have to settle for things which provide you with security and safety and make you dismiss love. So try and find some balance between those two on Saturday the 24th. The moon is still in Aquarius and sextiles Mars in Aries, and it squares Uranus and Taurus. So here we're getting conflict now between the self and other people again. The good news is that whatever area you focus on, you're going to get strong results. So on Saturday, anything that requires your keen eye for detail is going to be supported, and you're going to see things on Saturday that you've never seen before. So another day for amazing emotional insights. Have a look within, or yeah, and whichever way you do that, meditate, swim, dance, whatever. If you're editing a book, or you're questioning a deal or a relationship, that was once unclear, it's really going to make sense to you on Saturday. So if you don't want answers to certain things and you're in denial, make sure you tread carefully on Saturday, because if you ask something, you are going to get the right answer. And that is a great insight, and that's a great gift. We don't always appreciate those. You know, if a relationship is done and dusted and you're just kind of keeping it on a life support machine because you're majorly in love with the other person, then it is a gift to realize that, hey, you're the only person putting life into this relationship. It's dead. Because that insight shows you that you're giving energy and you're getting nothing back, and that you can do something about it. You can free yourself. It doesn't feel good in the right now because you'll be devastated, but it's good in the long term because you're actually then able to face that devastation, to get over that relationship, so that you can make space for a relationship that actually works. We have to go through conflict at times in life to grow, and we have to face difficult things sometimes to realize things about ourselves. And this week, you are going to have these great insights. Not all of them are going to feel peachy and hunky-dory. So Saturday, please trust your own judgment. You never know what new opportunities can lead to. So if you take on one job, it may lead to another. Focus on work in some way, even if you work during the week. Try and implement some sort of work on Saturday somehow, because you're going to feel that you upgrade your skills in some way, or you become more expert and accomplished at what you're doing. And it's a result of study, thought, and experience. So if you're working, the experience will teach you something. If you sit down and you read a book about the day job that you've got, you will learn something. And if you simply sit back and think about it, you'll have great insights as well that'll help you progress in your working life. Finally, on Sunday, the 25th of October, just in a housekeeping kind of way, I'm in England, and it's the end of British summertime. On Sunday the 25th, the clocks go back an hour. We switch to Greenwich Mean Time, and I don't think it's the same everywhere in the world. I think in the States it may be a bit later or earlier. It's not always the same. So that applies to the UK. We're entering the next 6 months of Greenwich Mean Time. I think and it's to save the daylight, basically. In terms of the astrology, we've got the moon going into Pisces at 19 minutes past 9 in the evening. The moon in Pisces now focuses on the self again, and the self in connection to the universe, the higher realms, the unmanifest. With the sun in Scorpio and Mercury in Scorpio, the emotional world, your imagination, the unmanifest, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So again, if you struggle with meditation or facing the truth about yourself, it's really easy this week, and it's worth doing because you're able to transcend your own issues and limitations. And we can't resolve problems unless we know we have problems or limitations that need to be overcome. The moon then trines Mercury and the sun in Scorpio. So Pisces is water, the communication planet is in water, the sun is in water. It's all feeling, intuition, the unmanifest, looking within and healing those things. And finally, the sun and Scorpio and Mercury and Scorpio connect with each other as well. So it's really full on. Personal growth, spiritual development, and self-help are all up for grabs and available to you on Sunday, the 25th. And all week really, but it gets even stronger on Sunday. If you want to change but find it impossible, so first of all, a lot of people are like, I am who I am, I'm not going to change. I mean, you hear that all the time. And then other people in life who have more problems, who are kind of forced to change, will say, I'm willing to change, but I don't know how. And that can be really difficult and uncomfortable. But if you do actually want to do something about certain behaviors or your way of life or the way you eat or the way you exercise or self-care, whatever, you're able to ask yourself why it is so difficult for you Why are you afraid of change? Because change is normal, right? Everything on planet Earth has to change, go with the seasons and go with the changing energies. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind. You're going to be a memory. So it's this ongoing process of change. And if you're unable to look at certain things within you and you're carrying them on your back for 10 years or 20 years, then you're actively resisting change. Ask yourself how you can heal this on Sunday, and you will be given the answers. So if your life isn't where you want it to be, it's really a great day to realize that you can do something about it, and it starts with your relationship with yourself. And it's a wonderful day to write personal affirmations to kind of cheer up your inner self and to realize that you can manifest whatever it is you want in life. So the affirmations I've written for myself are because I have a certain way of looking at the world, and certain affirmations work for me. So these aren't going to be for everybody. You may have an affirmation like, change comes easily and effortlessly. I enjoy the process of change. What I've written for myself is, I live a charmed life. My life is a fairy tale, and I become happier every day. Those resonate with me, and those are things I want. Not everyone wants their life to be charmed in a fairy tale. I do. So that's why I say these affirmations. Write ones that apply to you. By saying the affirmations or thinking them or just having them on a piece of paper where you look at them, or it can even be a symbol. So I want my life is a fairy tale. Maybe you put a picture of Prince Eric on a post-it and you stick that on your fridge and you get to see it every day. It's just about having it in your consciousness so that you put energy into it, and that will guarantee that sooner or later it will be a real thing. It has to be personal. It has to have it has to resonate with you for the energy to be drawn in and for it to grow and to take on a life of its own. So do that. Realize what the issue is. Be willing to change it. Use positive affirmations to overcome your own issues that you want to let go of. And you're really able to get the ball rolling on a completely different frequency that's much more positive and meaningful to you. So that's what I get this week. I hope that gives you an idea of what you'll be working with. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the button on the front page to order your reading with me. It says book your reading, and yeah, you can order your session with me. I have different times and different types of readings available, so have a look at the website gregoryscott.com to see which one suits you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit like, and share the video online. Have an amazing week, and I'll speak to you next week.